It doesn't matter how much you have at the start if you understand how to use compound interest. Compound interest in the hands of someone that's capable, all you have to do is find something that repeats, that's measurable, just has a statistical probability of repeating more times than not in the future, and you have a fixed position in terms of how much money you can lose. Now, I'm saying that with quotations in the air with my fingers, okay? Because for purposes of CFTC regulations and required risk disclaimers that I can't show you here, past performance is not indicative of future results, and you can lose more than you have in your account. Putting that aside, because that's reality, you're opening yourself up to risk by having that specific number of handles of stop loss. In my son's case, I told him his model needs to be 20 handles. That allows for a lot of wiggle room. On a 1 minute chart, it gives you a lot of wiggle room. Because if your setup's really there, it's not going to fuck around and go against you when the fair value gets traded into. It's not going to rip through that bitch 20 handles and still go the other direction. That's not happening. Okay? That's not happening. And you only have one chance. So don't take my word for it. Go through the study of a 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock time interval and see how many times the fair value gap trades down to it and rips through it 20 handles and then comes back up and still goes inside of that hour. Remember, your execution has to be within 10 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock. Somebody's going to come in here. Look at this here. It went back down to it at 11:15, so you're full of shit. Wrong. You didn't fucking listen. You can't follow rules. This is the reason why you're failing. Some of you don't need a dad. You need to have your ass kicked. You need to be grabbed by the fucking lapels and shook and say, listen to me. You are not paying attention. You're not listening to the videos. You're asking me fucking questions or pointing out things that I said in the first 10 fucking minutes. How on earth do you expect to beat these fucking institutions that run this shit if you can't even pay attention to a fucking lecture? You have to block out all the bullshit. You got to get focused, dialed the fuck in. It's not going to happen overnight. It ain't going to be easy for a lot of you. But once you get this understanding, the work's over. You just have to implement it. But you got to have rules. You have to have rules. You have to stick to that rules of engagement. If you don't stick to it, you're going to fucking lose money. And you're going to lose money to the degree where you end up losing your account. And guess what happens then? You have a hard decision. Do you start all over again, or do you pack it in and say, it ain't for me? If you have done the work of trying to trade, okay? If you tried to study how to trade and you tried to trade with money before you were ready, and because you failed by trying to trade with real money, and you do not have minimum 6 months of consistent